everybody, in this video we are going to create the back section of the truck. So we'll just create a cube, we'll press edit, we'll press S to scale it. We can go to top view and we can organize it to this section. We can go to this view and we'll just make it from here. So we'll just scale it to x-axis, and these will be the back base actually, and back barrel, you can say the main trawler for the truck. And we can just go to mirror it to the other side as well. We can just select this loop and we can just extrude it. So we'll just go to side view, we'll just extrude it to y-axis, extrude it to y-axis again, extrude it to y-axis again, like this, and it will be around 5 part sections like this. Okay, so this is the one, so 1 2 3 and like this 4 and around 5. Yeah, this much is too big, I think. So I think we should close till here maybe, or maybe before this, so like this. Okay, yeah, this much is good. And then we will just create, because if we go to subdivision surface you will see the bad behavior here because we don't have the enough cuts here. Okay, so for that purpose we will just add some corner cuts. So we will just go here and create a loop here, and we will create a loop here as well, and we will create a loop to this side and this side as well. And now you will see that we have a nice shape. Okay, so now we want to join this section. So for that purpose we can just add a loop here, maybe like this, add a loop here like this, and then we will just select the inner faces, this one, sorry, okay, we'll just move it, this one and this one, and then we can delete these faces. And in the mirror we should enable the clipping. We will just select this loop, and now we will just move this loop to the EX little bit, and then EX, and then EX, and like this. Okay, and that's very good. And now what else we want is we want some out extrusion. Okay, so here I will just select this section. Actually for extrusion we will just do the simple way. I will just select this one, and yeah, that's fine. And actually I will just create one more loop here, and I will select this section and we will just extrude it to x-axis like this, extrude it to x-axis again, and extrude it to x-axis again, and a little bit of, I think that much is enough. And we will just make it the last cut very short so that our section will be nicer. Okay, although we can add a loop here to this side like this to make it perfect. So now you will see that it will be quite good. Okay, the last thing we need is the section for the lights, etc. and we need backlights as well. So for that purpose we can just extrude some section from here. Okay, so for that purpose we can actually create a new loop here, and like this, and we can extrude, but it will not be good, I think. So yeah, it will not look good, so we will just move back and we will do some, we'll undo some settings like this. Okay, and like undo this. Yeah, so that's good. And now we will just actually enable this section, and we will just delete this face, and we will select the, we will actually delete these two faces as well, and we will actually select this loop, and then we will just extrude it to x-axis. Okay, now this is good. Now we will just create a loop cut here, and then we will select the section here from here to here maybe, and we will just we can select this section as well, and then we can just start extruding to y-axis like this. Very small extrusion, then the bigger extrusion like this. Okay, and then this is good, and then we will select the bottom section till here, and then we will just, and why we have this cut here. For some reason, if we apply the subdivision surface, you can see the, okay, this is good, no problem, we will fix it. So here we will just press E, Z, like this. Okay, and on this section we will place our number plate. Okay, so that's fine. So we can place our number plate here. So for number plate we can use the same body, I think. So we can select this loop till here maybe, and for the number plate we will create some cuts here. So this much and this much is good, and then also we will just apply the subdivision surface to check the result, and here you can see we need one cut here. Okay, so we will just create a cut here, it will solve this issue, and we need a cut here as well. Okay, so it's quite good now. And now this is the number plate area, so we will just select this thing till here, and we will just extrude it outside, not this one. This much is enough, and we will just extrude it to y-axis like this, and not too much. Okay, this much is good, but if we enable the subdivision surface, you can see the problem here. So we'll just add some cuts here. So one more thing, for the number plate, I will show you that we need to create a loop here as well. Okay, so this loop we will use for unwrapping. Okay, so I will just add it here. That's good. And now we will just add a loop here to this side and this side as well, and that's it. Our back body base is ready almost. One loop, although we can create here for the better transition. Okay, so now you can see that we have this type of shape and we have a number plate, but although this number plate is too big, yeah, it's too big, I think, sorry for this, so we will move back again. I think we should not create too big number plate, so we'll just create a loop here till here, it is good, and we will extrude this section only. And then similarly again we need loop cuts here, and that's it. Okay, and last loop cut which we want to add is here, okay, to this side. This is very important loop. We will extrude it, we will just utilize it with for UV unwrapping. So now you can see that we have a nice body, and if we have this type of shape as well. So this is the base body, so we will just name it as a back body base, okay. And I don't know that subdivision surfaces are applied or not. I think not, but without subdivision surface it's looking absolutely nice. But anyhow, we will just add 2 subdivision surface, okay. If we remove this and if we right click and shade smooth, I think this is also good, but if we select this thing and press A, and if we press right click, merge vertices by distance, and shift N for normal, yeah, we have some issues here. So I think subdivision surface will work better, so that's nice. Okay, so that's good. So after that we will just create the main body, back body, okay. Before that we will just enable other things, because now these things, especially the tires actually, and we want to duplicate the tires, and the tire positions we have to recheck, and you can see the tire position is quite good, and we want to move the rim a little bit like this, and tires, we will move the tires as well, sorry, this one as well, little bit like this, okay, yeah, this is good. And now we will, this is not good actually, actually we will just place it back, and this thing we will just select it, everything, and then we will just move it to this side, okay, little bit inside with from the tires, okay. So this much is good, and for the tires we will move tires. You can see the tire positioning is not good, that's why we was facing the problem. So I will just move it like this, this much is good, and then we will select the tires. So let's select this tire, and from front I will just check from front, we'll just move it till here, I think this is good. And then for this tire we'll just go to this much, okay. So that's good, now this is good. So now we'll select that tire and this tire as well, okay, and we'll just move it to back. So we'll just select the truck body, and we'll just press shift D to duplicate, and we will just move it to y axis to somewhere here maybe. Okay, that's good. And also this thing we will just place it a little bit down now, and that is better. Yeah, this matches better, and that's it. So now we will create the back body. Let's create the back body, and for back body, before that we will just enable this mirror as well, so that our mirror is applied. And now for the back body, and one more thing, we didn't have created the lights section. So for the lights we can just create a light here. So I think we will create a loop here and a loop here, and actually I just forget to enable the mirror again, so we'll just move back. Okay, now the mirror is enabled. So now we will just select this section and this section, and for the light I think one more section here, and now we can just select these vertices and we can delete these vertices. Now you can see we have deleted the vertices. Now we can select the loop, so we can select it and we can create E and Y like this, EY again, EY again, ES again, and F again, and that's it. Our lights is ready. Okay, so that's good. Now we will create we will just finalize the mirror, and now we will create the body. So this will be the back body base. We will just place it inside the truck, and now we will just press Control Shift A. We will just go to mesh. We will create a plane, and now for this plane we will just go to edit mode. We will just press S to scale it like this. I think this much is fine. For the body, if we place it here, yeah, we can start the body from here. Okay, that's good. And now we will just create some loops. Control R, and 3 loops are enough for the base, and then we will just select half of the body and we will just delete it. And actually from this side I will just delete it, and then we will just mirror it. And now we will just enable the clipping. We will just select the section here, and we will go to 3. We'll just press EY to move further, EY to move further, EY to move further like this, and EY to move further, EY to move further till here I think. And we will select everything. We will just move it a little bit up like this, and then we will select the loop here and the loop here as well, and this loop as well. Okay, and definitely we can just move it outside, but before that we need some middle loops as well. So for that purpose I think we will just press Ctrl Z. I will show you why, and then we will just create some loops here. Okay, and then we will press everything SY, and we will just scale it like this. This will give us a better result. SY, and you can see SY again little bit, and this much is good. Now we can select this section and this section and this section as well, and we can extrude it. So we can just go to 3 for side view. We can extrude it to Z axis, a small extrusion, EZ, EZ again, EZ again, E and C again, E and Z again, E and Z again. I think this much is good. Okay, although the truck is too big, I think. Yeah, I think it's too big. So we'll press everything SY and we will just make it little bit small like this. Okay, that's good. And then we will select this thing which is this one, and we'll just scale it to Y axis little bit. Yeah, so a little bit more, scale it to Y axis. Although we can tweak these settings later on, but now if we make these changes, it will be better. So now we will just select this wheel and this wheel. We'll move this wheel here, and now I think the size is quite better. So now we have this type of truck, and now we will just select everything. We will just go to side view, we'll go to vertices mode, we'll go to wireframe mode, and we will just set up these things. So here I will just create a cut here, small cut. Okay, and then we will just move this vertex a little bit, sorry for this, little bit here, and then we will select these vertices and we will move these one by one like this, and then this one and this one. So now you can see that we have a nice truck base shape. Okay, and which is good. And for the door section, we can just create a, I think, loop here, and then here in the middle we want a scene here, we want a sticker here, so I will just create a loop here as well, and here as well, I think from here, and then we will just select another loop here, and we will just select this section and delete this section faces. Okay, so we have this type of truck. That's good. Okay, so now we want to create one more section here. So usually you saw that truck has this type of round sections. So for that purpose we can select the loops here. So for example this one, I will just create one more loop here, and this one, and then this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, and now we will just press E and X to move it like this. Little bit movement initially, then after that we will just move it to X, extrude it to X, extrude it to X, sorry, extrude it to X axis, and then extrude it to X axis, sorry, again, extrude it to X axis again, and that's it. So now we have this type of shape, and if we apply the solidify, it's important, so you should apply the solidify, and then we will just add subdivision surface as well. So for this we will just keep it 2, and you can see the result, which is quite good. Although we have this type of section here, and it is good, I think, so we can keep it like this. So the next step is to add texture to our body. Okay, so now it's time to add texture to our truck main body and the base body. So before that we will add base body texture. So I have added this texture for the main body section, and here we will just extract the different sections. So first of all I will just select the this loop, I think, for the light, for the number plate, and for the light we will just select this loop and this loop, and right click, we will just go to Control E and mark seam, and we will select everything A, unwrap by U and unwrap, and now everything will be unwrapped. Here you can see the result here. Okay, we will just select this section, which is the main section, I think, and yeah, this is the main section. So we'll select it and we'll press S to scale it, and we'll keep it on black color, and now we will just select this these sections. So here I will see, yeah, we can select this one, and this is actually the light, I think, and this one is also the light. So we'll keep these lights here. Okay, and then we will select both lights. We will just rotate these lights, and we will scale these lights with S, and now we will just move it to the right position. Okay, you can definitely add a better light, or you can just organize the corners and you can place the lights in a better form to get better result. Okay, so now we have this section which is for number plate, I think, so we'll just add it here, and we can just rotate it. So in this view we will just add material view so that we can see the result. So here we can have this thing, and we can just rotate it like this, and then we will just press S to scale it, and you can see it's upside down. So we will just rotate it to like this, and then we will just select scale, and we will scale it manually or with S key, it's up to you, and we'll just scale it like this, move it to right position, yeah, now you can see very nice number plate here. Okay, so that's good, and the lights as well, so that's very nice. And we also in the materials we have selected the metallicness to 0.2, we will add 0.5 I think, and for the roughness we will add 0.3 because it is steel, so we can get some better result. That's it for this, and now we will just add texture for the main body. Okay, so now we will add texture for on main body, and I have created a main body texture here, which is this one. So we'll add it here, and on the body we will just select material, create a new material, we will just name it to back body main, and here we will just drag drop this image, and we will add this image, and now you can see we have this type of texture. Okay, so that's great. Now we'll just make textures as we want. And before that, one more thing is that if we go to modifiers, you can see that we didn't have enabled the mirror, which is a good thing. So if we do texture to one side, it will be applicable to another side as well. Okay, so and we will also not enable the thickness for time. We will just disable it, and also disable this section for time, and we will enable it after doing the after doing our work. Okay, so here we will just divide our truck into sections. So what we can do, we can just select this corner loop from here actually here to here, okay, with control, and also this loop from here to here, and actually we can select this loop as well. Sorry, the entire loop we can select with Alt, but it will connect with this loop. So I will just select shift click and control click, shift click and control click. Okay, now this loop is selected, and now we will just select the inner loops. So after 1 2 3 we can select this one till this, and then 1 2 3 this one till here maybe, and then this one till here. It's up to you that how you can select your sections. Okay, and then we can just right click, mark seam, and we will press A U unwrap, and now you can see the different sections of our truck. So now it's very easy for adding the texture to the truck. So if we one more thing, we can select this section, the front section as well, if we want to do so, but I think we may not need it. So here we will just start setting up our section. So first section, you can see, yeah, this loop. So this is the upper loop, okay, top one. So we can place it maybe here. Oh sorry, something bad happens. So L, and you can see we have this type of connectivity. L, yeah, this is fine, separated, and this one is for the top. Okay, why it is for the top and that are also for the top? Anyhow, we'll just rotate it to make it straight, and then we will just place it to top section. We'll just place it here. We'll just select this section and go to UV, align auto, and then we can just select this one as well, UV, align auto, and then we will just select everything with L, and with scale, with S we can scale it like this maybe. Sorry, it's scaling too big. Okay, like this, and we can organize it, scale down, and then we can scale it like this. You can see the rotation has a little problem, so we can just rotate it if we want to do so. And then again we will select everything and we will place it at the right position. And now you can see we have a very nice texture on the top. Similarly, we can add texture to other sections as well. Okay, so that's it. I have added the materials, and you can see that this is our body, which is looking absolutely good, and that's it. If you want to add a texture inside texture, you can extract that sections as well, and you can add certain texture to the inner body as well if you want to do that. Okay, so we will keep it like this, and here you can see that we are in UV editing, and for example, if for some reason you can't select some section while editing, you can at any time you can choose loops. For example, if we want to make this inner section simple, like simple green for example, then we can select these polygons, the inner polygons, you can see like this, and this, and then this much. Okay, I will just select it and I will show you how we can do that. So like this, and this much, and this much, and now inner polygons are selected. When you will select the polygons, here you will see that this section is separated and highlighted. So we'll select this section and we can place it wherever we want, and I will just add it at green section. So let's add it at green section, and now you will see that our inner base is totally green. Okay, and you can do the same with these sections as well. So for some reason we didn't selected these sections, that's why these are even they are just colorful. Okay, so if you want, we can select this section as well, so maybe like this, and then we can select this section as well. Okay, and then we can place the section on the green place, and then you will see that everything will be on the green in the base. Okay, so that's nice. So we have this type of methods as well for UV editing. So if we go to edit and if we press A, you can see this section as well, which belongs to, I don't know where it is, so we can just, yeah, this is this bottom section. Okay, so this section we can also move. No, this is this side section. Okay, so if you want a colorful section, you can add it on the colorful, or you can add it to green section as well if you want to do so. Okay, that's it. This is our last result and we are happy with this. And now if we go to a layout, and you can see we have a nice texture for our truck. That's it for this video. Next video we'll finalize our truck, and then we will move our truck to Unity.